Hey guys, it's Goldilocks again, and today I'm going to be showing you the 5 steps of how to save a life, basically. When I went into cardiac arrest, these are the steps that everybody who was trying to help me did. And so I got some information from my mom and offline, and I created this little slideshow for you guys. So here we go. So the first step is if you see anybody suddenly fall or just fall something, or you see somebody laying on the ground, the first thing that you know if there's something wrong is you have to recognize respiratory distress and unresponsiveness. So that means if you can hear them or see them having trouble breathing, like or like gasping, then you should go over there immediately and try and like shake them or wake them up if it seems like they're unconscious. And if they're unresponsive, which means they won't wake up, they won't respond to you, then you know that there's something wrong. So the second step is to take charge and call 911 or ask somebody to call 911. And this is really important because they'll pick up immediately, you have to put them on speakerphone for this next step. So the next step is to start CPR immediately. Don't be afraid to do CPR, because if they don't need CPR, then they'll push you away. Even if they're unconscious, they'll like put their arms out and push you away, or they will respond or they'll wake up and say, no, I don't need that, stop. They will do that. And if they do need it, then you will know that they need the CPR. The kind of CPR that I'm talking about is called a hands-only CPR, which is not where you do the 30 pumps and then the 2 breaths, because you don't really know where this person's mouth has been, right? Even if it's a person in your own family and this is your house, you still don't know where their mouth has been. So hands-only CPR, so when you do CPR and you just keep pumping, and that will create a vacuum and they will actually be taking in air as you're doing the CPR. So that's the kind of CPR that I'm talking about here. So you keep doing that until you take charge again and ask and locate the AED or ask somebody to. Once again, don't be afraid to use the AED, which stands for automated external defibrillator, because we have these AEDs now that are so high tech that it will scan the person's heart and it'll see if they need the shock. And if they don't, then it won't shock them. So you're not going to be hurting the person in any way as you're doing this. When I went into cardiac arrest, I had ventricular fibrillation, which is a heart rate which is not normal, it's not good. So I did need the AED and it shocked me. But again, if they don't need it, it won't shock them. And as soon as you take it out, it'll start talking and it'll tell you how you're supposed to use it. So the 5th and final step is to continue with the compressions, the hands-on CPR, or the AED if you're still doing that, until the paramedics arrive. And so since they'll probably tell you to keep the phone on until they get there, because if you don't know CPR, even though I just told you, if you forget, then they will guide you on what you're supposed to do. So that is it for the 5 steps. And if you want to know what CPR stands for, it stands for cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. And before we go, the order of steps that I just told you to do is what firefighters or the paramedics would call push shock, which means you call 911, you do CPR, and then you shock them. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this, or may use some of the steps that I just told you, because this stuff, you never know whose life you're gonna save. I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!